Assalamualaikum and hi, welcome to my mini project ECG 260 presentation. My name is Ahmad Hafiz bin Hassan. My student ID is 20496666 and I am from group J4CAC 1104C1. In this presentation, I'm going to talk about introduction, methodology, result, discussion and conclusion. Firstly, the introduction. In this mini project, I am going to conduct some experiment in laboratory. This experiment for determine the ways to improve soil stability and increase soil strength. I choose eggshell powder as addition material in soil stabilization for this project. The case of study, according to research, the composition of waste chicken eggshell is primarily made up of dry material 98.4% and water 1.6%. This waste is still infrequently employed. Eggshell contain mineral components 95.1% and protein 3.3% in addition to the remaining dry ingredients. According to the non-material makeup, the eggshell are made up primarily of crystalline calcium carbonate 98.43%, magnesium carbonate 0.84%, and calcium carbonate, calcium phosphate 0.75%. The eggshell, which is the top layer of the egg, protect the egg contents from damage caused by physical, chemical, and microbiological force. So we're gonna move to methodology. Firstly, the particle density. Here are the apparatus to conduct the particle density test. Firstly, is density bottle. Second is distilled water, soil sample, vacuum set, weight balance, and eggshell powder. So the procedure of the particle density is wash and wipe the density bottle and stopper until dry. Measure the weight of density bottle and stopper and label as M1. Take the soil sample at the that have been dried up in an oven and cool, and eggshell powder. Pour into the density bottle and label as M2. Pour the density bottle pour the distilled water, half of density bottle without any entrapped bubbles and stir gently the bottle. Take out the stopper and place the bottle into vacuum set. Turn on the vacuum set and wait for 10 minutes. Take out the density bottle from the vacuum set and pour the density bottle full of distilled water and label as M3. Wash and clean it. Wash and empty the density bottle and clean it properly. Fill the density bottle with full distilled water. Place the stopper on the still density bottle back and wipe the bottle dry from the outside and wait the mess as N4. Repeat step 2 until 8 for 2 more observation to update and average specific gravity of the sample. Here are the photo that I conduct the particle density test. And this the time lapse of particle density test. This test is take around 40 minutes to finish. So we're gonna move to compenetration test. Here are the apparatus. Firstly, compenetrometer, cylinder cup, 0.425 mm sieve, pellet knife, weight balance, eggshell powder, distilled water, and lastly, drying oven. So for the procedure, get 300 gram of soil that have been already sieved by using 0.425 mm test sieve. Add 20% of eggshell into the soil. Put the soil on the gas plate and mix it properly with distilled water using the pellet knife. Mix it until it becomes homogeneous paste. If additional distilled water need, add it until achieve the compenetration measurement of approximately 15 mm. Fill the cylinder cup, and push the soil without any entry, without any entrap air. Use the straight edge to remove excess soil and create a smooth, level surface. Lock the tip of the cone that barely brush the soil surface by lowering the support of penetration cone and drop the dial gauge. Then record the reading to the nearest 0.1 mm. Press the button so that the tip will drop. Stop pressing the button after 5 seconds. Record the difference between the drop cone penetration start and finish. Remove and wipe the cone carefully to prevent scratch. Take some sample for moisture content around 10 grams and repeat step 2 until 12 at least twice more. So here are the videos and photos that I conduct the core penetration test. This video is the soil sample have blister to make the homogeneous space. And lastly, the plastic limit. Measure the moisture can and record the weight uh, before add the soil sample and pour the distilled water. Uh, Take the soil sample and pour the distilled water until the dirt can be rolled without sticking to the hand. Make an ellipsoidal mesh out of the soil. When the thread diameter has reached the diameter need, cut into multiple pieces, knead and roll the piece. To create ellipsoidal mesh, repeat the rolling procedure until the thread collapses. Gather all the discrete thread piece and lay the piece on a moisture content, then cover it. Wet the moisture container that holding the soil and record the mesh before putting into the oven. At least 16 hours that the moisture container in the oven. At least repeat the test at least 2 more times. Repeat the step 3, 4 and 5 with the same technique as the previous laboratory. Calculate the water content from each trial. Make sure you use the same balance weighing anything. So here are the photos that I conduct the plastic limit test. So we're gonna move to result. So here are the result of particle density. As we can see, the soil with eggshell have less specific gravity and particle density than the normal soil. Second, the compensation test. The water content that soil with eggshell have lower water content than normal soil and have high average penetration than normal soil. And lastly, the plastic limit. The soil with eggshell have high plastic limit than the normal soil. So we're gonna move to discussion. Here are the discussion of plastic limit. Based on the result that the student gained, the specific gravity of the normal soil is much higher than the soil that have been added with eggshell. This is because the eggshell percentage is high. According to research from International Journal of Recent Technology and Engineering, it have been stated that the eggshell with high percentage added in soil can make the soil specific gravity lower than the normal soil. Meanwhile, the eggshell with low percentage added in soil can make the soil specific gravity higher than the normal soil. Sorry. Below is the proof that high percentage of eggshell can decrease the specific gravity of the soil. So the competition based on the result the student gain, the normal soil has liquid limit of 60%. Meanwhile, the soil of the eggshell have 10.5% of liquid limit. This show the normal soil has higher liquid limit than the soil have with eggshell. Furthermore, the plastic limit of normal soil is lower than the soil that have eggshell which is the normal soil have 11.11% of plastic limit. Meanwhile, 44.92 for the soil that have eggshell. Lastly, the plasticity index of normal soil is 4.89%, and for the soil with eggshell is negative 34.42%. Because of the eggshell got negative value of plasticity index, it will be considered as 0% and non-plasticity non-plastic soil. According to research from Pele- Pelagia Research Library, it states that the soil with high percentage of eggshell will have low liquid limit and plasticity index, meanwhile high in plastic limit. Hence, the soil have the characteristic of non-plastic soil. Soil with eggshell is have higher strength than normal soil because it can deform. Lastly, the conclusion. In a nutshell, the eggshell does help to improve stabilization and strength of a soil, but in low percentage. It is shown the data the student gains from the experiment by conducting particle density and co-penetration tests. The data shown the eggshell can increase the strength of the soil because the plasticity index and specific gravity is much lower than the normal soil. With soil that have been added to the eggshell, the soil is very suitable for farming and gardening because it can provide nutrients to the plants that contain such as abundance of calcium. Hence, the eggshell can be one of the alternative can be used in construction work to improve stabilization and strength of the soil. In my opinion about this project implementation, this project give advantage to students because this project show to students some material can stabilize and increase the strength of the soil. This project the student can apply at construction site if want to know the stabilization and strength of the soil if some material added in the soil. So that's all from me. Thank you.